Hello, welcome back to the Village Hall from Page to Stage. I am your host, Matt Ogden, and this man right here is the writer of this very musical. It's Mr. Richard Sykes. And today, Rich, we are joined by the wonderful, the fabulous, the almighty, that's the right word, isn't it?
Right, it is.
Mr. Alan Warmby.
Yes.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
Toucan. I'm not bad. Yeah, I'm really good.
We are in the Newsome Centre today, which, of course, used to be St John's Church of Newsome, but it's now a centre that's being used as a community hall, and what a massive hall it is, isn't it?
It's an amazing thing. I mean, I've performed at the old church hall, which was built out like an old Anderson shelter with a curved roof. But the church hall used to be at the end of the graveyard, and then beyond that is the scout hut. It actually ties... the scout hut's still
I just
there.
spent 10 minutes trying to get in there. I thought you were.
Fair enough. I hope the locks gave way. So, it's an incredible facility, and this has recently been purchased. Karen will tell us later about the struggles they've had, but they recently purchased it from the church and wanted to keep it as a community asset. So we'll discuss that when we come to it. Yeah, amazing.
Excellent. In the meantime, though, Mr. Warmby, how are you finding the Village Hall experience? You know, what's it like comparing, because you were obviously there for By George as well. What's the story? What's happening with the musical?
Where do you want me to start? I mean, I know the people who have been on these amazing podcasts that you've spoken to have all been in the mix. They've been on the inside of the production.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Whereas it's slightly different with me because I'm on the outside looking in, and I can get to see the whole thing just develop and come to it. Oh, it's whoa!
Isn't it great to see?
When Sue and I read the script, we sat down and read the script together. The romance has gone out of our marriage.
Has
right
it?
away.
So now you're reading about Village Hall.
Reading the script. And we looked at each other after Act 2 and I thought, I don't get this.
Yeah.
I just don't get it because it's just words. But then Neil gets hold of it.
Yeah.
Kira gets hold of it. Lauren gets hold of it. Do their own thing. And they're all three of them are brilliant. And suddenly the whole thing just explodes.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The way I look at it is you provide them with the ammunition.
Yes.
They fire it.
That is exactly the way to look at it.
I think it's really interesting for me to hear you, as a published author and a writer yourself, approached it and went, I don't really know how to take this just at face value. So what did you think when you were reading it then? Was it hard to picture how it was going to work, or was it?
The problem we have, or the problem I had, is that I'm comparing it to By George, or as my wife called it, Boy George.
Boy George, the chip shop music.
Yes.
But that, of course, was a finished article.
Yeah.
And this is like the bare bones.
Yeah.
And we were looking at some of the songs, some of the music, and I'm thinking, I don't get this at all. No. And then Kira, who could make, Kira could make a sack of coal sing.
Yes.
She's amazing, that woman. When it all comes together with her input, it just kind of goes, woof. Wow. I'm loving it. It's incredible. Loving it. That's why I'm yet, apart from being on holiday, to miss a rehearsal.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just want to go along and watch it develop.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a fascinating process. One thing that Alan's been in charge of from the off, and he's very reticent about this and won't want to say, but Alan is the reason all of this is happening. Because I was doing a show with Woodhouse called Little Shop of Horrors. Which I believe you were backstage for, and I think you were chairman of the company at that point.
I thought you were with us for Robin.
Oh, I was there long before that. I'm referring to a certain incident where you and I were backstage. And
Steady on.
Well, yes, we were discussing things.
Discussing things.
Yeah. I was giving vent to my loquacity.
Oh, there it is. Douche word of the day again. Loquacity.
Well, you've got to get it out while you can, especially the longer the better. Now, you and I were backstage, and you were talking about what Woodhouse was going to be doing to celebrate the millennium.
Right.
Because we were coming up to the year 2000. This was 1999, and the next year was going to be a thing. We'd already got a show called Sweet Charity that we were doing in March, but Alan came up with the idea to say, we need something else. What can we do? And so I just happened to have a musical in my repertoire, which I'd written as a thesis at university, just as like a dissertation, and it was called Curtains. And I said, "Do you want to do this, Alan?" And you said yes. And so
It wasn't just my decision.
I know it wasn't just your decision, but it was your impetus,
driving force,
and I think that's part of how I see your role in a lot of Woodhouse, especially these days, is to be a driving force, the person who just chivies along and makes things happen. And it's very undersold, is Alan's role, but he is absolutely at the beating heart of Woodhouse. It's wonderful.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank
But
you.
Alan and I were instrumental in getting the next musical done, because I think you said, "Have you got any more of these?" before I went away to be a cruise director somewhere, and I said, "Yeah, there are. There's a few more ideas in there," and I had this idea about a chip shop musical. And Alan said, "Oh yeah, okay, well we'll do that." And he kept pressing, because during my cruise director years, I did come back and do shows for Woodhouse.
Yeah.
And every time I came back, Alan would say, "Do you remember that chip shop musical thing?" And he kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And so it kept being written. And when I came back for the final time from the cruise ships, Alan said, "Do you want to do? Shall we do that musical now?"
But it wasn't called by George, was it?
It was not. It was called Wibbits.
As we know. From last season, which
Yes,
if you haven't already watched or listened to by George from Page to Stage, go back and listen to them either on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or you can watch them on YouTube, on Richard Sykes' YouTube channel.
Tenuous plug over.
So I want to know a bit more about my kind of favourite person in Woodhouse, which is you, obviously. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Because I've only obviously known you since I joined Woodhouse in 2016 for Rent, which is a good 16 years after what you're just talking about. So catch me up with that 16 years where you've done Curtains, and then you've been pressing Rich to do By George, or Wibbits as it was called then. What's been your role, and what's been your kind of big memories of Woodhouse during that kind of time?
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
How long have you got?
Absolutely ages. Rich will just edit the
long.
podcast down as he needs.
I was conned into this by my very good friend, Mr. David Sellens. Now, and I still regard him as a very good friend, because in March 1997, over a curry, over a chicken tikka masala on a Friday night, he turned to me and he said, "Have you got a black T-shirt?"
What? That's not what I expected you to
Gotta
go.
be.
I said, "Well, yeah, why?" He said, "Well, you're working backstage next week." Back what? Because I had nothing whatsoever to do with amateur theatre, musical theatre, anything like that.
Nothing whatsoever.
Been to watch him a few times. And so I said, "Oh, okay. So I turned up on I think it was 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, as it was in those days, to unload this Pantechnicon, knowing nothing at all about musical theatre. And 2 weeks later, I was chairman. Yeah, seriously.
That's quite the jump, isn't it?
We're unloading this van, and I'm thinking, I can do this. It's easy. And then all of a sudden, this team, amazing backstage team, come together and start. And this was Robin.
Yes, I remember Robin of
Prince
Sherwood.
because he was pouncing about on stage in black leather.
David
trousers.
was the lead. David
Right.
was playing Robin.
Okay.
I was the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah.
In
I can see it,
skin-
actually, you know.
Skin-tight black leather.
We needed to sell tickets.
Right.
We didn't.
No, we didn't.
So it was
No one came to watch that.
It was Robin Hood Men in Tights then.
It, kind of.
And so I'm on
just Richard.
stage, and all these other people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, they've got the belts with the hammers and the screwdrivers, and they're all building this great thing. And I'm gazing around, and then, because it's got its own language.
Yeah.
It's got its own language, and the stage manager at the time, I think it might have been Andy Patchett.
I think it was.
I think it was Andy Patchett. He said, "It's Alan, isn't it?" Yeah. He said, "Can you go and get me some Frenzels on there on stage right, underneath the fly gallery, behind the flats?" I'm going, "What? This is complete." I had no idea what
it
you
is
are
jargon.
talking about.
If you're watching at home and you don't understand any of these things, we'll show you at some point during the podcast.
So he could tell that obviously I was utterly useless on stage. And so he said, tell you what, go and help Andy and Andrew Blacker. He's in the fly gallery.
How do I get up there?
Where's the fly? What's the... And it's like 30 feet up is this steel platform.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, how do I get up there? He said, well, there's a ladder bolted to the wall on stage right. Yeah. I mean, nowadays, you're not
No.
You can't do it.
No.
And he said, just pop up there. He said, Andy will sort you out. And, well, I'm not good at heights. I get dizzy on a thick carpet, basically. And so I went up this ladder through this steel trapdoor.
Yeah.
And Andy had said, when you get up there, there's some cans near the donut. I'm thinking, 4 cans of Heineken and some donuts. Yeah, I'm all for that. God, I didn't know any of this language.
No, cans are headphones, and the donut is the.
Yeah,
is
I know that now.
I know. I'm not explaining it to you. There are people listening to this, Alice, so I'm going to tell them. The donut is the round piece of metal in the middle of the auditorium that we're going to be using an awful lot of in Village Hall.
And so I'm up there, and Andrew, we just spent the week up there, pulling ropes and loading 10-kilogram lumps of cast iron into the cradles, and I loved it.
Yeah. And watching the lunacy on stage.
I said, you get a great view up there. Yeah, great view. And then about a week after that, David Sellens, my very good friend, came to me and said, been talking to the committee. Our chairman has just resigned. They'd like you to be chairman. I'm thinking, I've got no experience in this whatsoever. All I've done is spend a week with Andrew Blacker in the fly gallery. Yeah. I said, what does it... This is where the conning bit comes in.
Oh, I was wondering, to be fair.
I said, well, what's it involve? They said, all you've got to do is run a committee meeting once a month. Liar. He lied. There's way more to it. That's Neil, he'll tell you. There are days when I was chairman when my entire day, 8-10 hours, was taken up with Woodhouse stuff. So one committee meeting a month running. No, it wasn't. He lied.
The great thing is, this is where myself and Alan's stories coincide, because Robin Hood was my first show with Woodhouse as well. I thought really Alan was a fixture, because it was such a well-run machine at that point. Yeah. Having said that, the musical that we started with was probably the biggest bomb in Woodhouse's history. It had suffered.
It was.
Yeah.
I still have very fond memories of the musical, but if you listen back, some of it is ropey as hell. Robin of Sherwood is basically a Robin Prince of Sherwood. It could be either. No one even remembers the title. It featured the Merry Men with Lilos going through the forests of Sherwood, Maid Marian as a rock chick. And somehow Guy of Gisborne is dispatched very quickly with one song. It doesn't make an awful lot of sense.
I seem to remember Andy Bell was a tree.
Andy Bell, I'm sure he'll say his performance was wooden. I will, but no, Andy wasn't a tree. Andy did play Guy of Gisborne. I remember one of the funniest nights of my life was when we received the costumes and the sets from the West End production. We had the West End production costumes. Wow. So it was extraordinary.
Didn't do them justice, though.
Oh, it was beautiful detail. It was fantastic. However, Guy of Gisborne's came with an eye patch. And Andy Bell is 6'7".
Got to be.
6'7", and the costume didn't exactly fit him.
Right.
In fact, it didn't fit him at all. And I had a line in which I had to turn around and see Andy in costume for the first time. And myself and Anne Drake, who was a brilliant friend and a much-loved, gorgeous personality, she was playing Morgana the Witch. And so we turned round as the baddies to see Guy of Gisborne, Andy in a black leather bondage-studded eye patch, standing there, Unfortunately, the toga, the kind of skirtish thing, didn't quite fit either.
Right.
So we turned around to see this, and we fell about. The director then was a lady called Lynn Clarkson, who is, again, an immeasurably wonderful human being.
Very familiar.
And she just, all of us just collapsed. There was no way of getting through that rehearsal. I remember it as being one of the funniest nights of my life, watching these people take on these West End costumes and try and fit everything. The show was pretty calamitous for the society.
Well, I seem to think that the theatre-going public of Huddersfield thought it was going to be a pantomime, which in some respects it probably
well,
was.
in some respects it was, but it was just meant to be fun.
Yeah.
But they didn't come to see it. And I think Woodhouse, which was in financial straits at the time, I think we lost 14,000 on that show.
We ended up with £300 in the bank.
So you essentially had to steady the ship after only a week of being a part of the society.
Basically. So I said to David, well, give me some minutes of previous committee meetings. And he said, we don't do minutes.
And you went, right, we're going to do minutes from now on.
Okay, well, have you got any agendas? Give me some agendas. Then I know what I'm letting myself in for.
Yeah.
I don't have an agenda.
No.
So it was a group of characters who get together once a month and have a chat about
In a
Woodhouse.
pub.
In a pub.
Yeah.
And that's how I went in and kind of put a bit of direction to it. But 300 quid we had in the bank. But fortunately, next show we got Chicago.
It was fortuitous because Chicago is a fantastic show, Kander and Ebb's finest, I think. But we managed to tag on to some West End publicity because it was just released for the amateurs.
Right,
and
okay.
then it got picked up in the West End.
Yeah.
And we were pretty much the last ones to get it before the West End. So the Royal Variety Performance had songs from Chicago, and the songs really sell that show.
Yeah, definitely.
So we had no set. No costumes, not really. We were script. I joined the committee at the same time. I think it was Alan that asked me to join the committee.
Yeah.
And so we scrimped and saved and put Chicago on, and it netted us a small fortune.
Yeah.
It saved Woodhouse.
Yeah, that set us on our way, didn't it? Set us on our way.
It did. And the next show that we did was, after that, was Little Shop of Horrors. And then we did Sweet Charity. And then they landed on Curtains. And so that's where we pick up our story.
You do Audrey too?
I was the voice of the plant.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yes.
I would love to play Seymour opposite him as Audrey too. I think that would be amazing to do.
I thoroughly enjoyed that role.
Yeah.
But then again, I've enjoyed every show with Woodhouse. I think it's...
You do say that a lot, actually.
It's impossible
He
not
praises.
to. I think it's one of the most welcoming and beautiful groups of people.
Yeah.
And they've had some extraordinary talent through their doors through the time we've known each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some great people there.
Yeah.
Second family. Don't know what to do without
I think
them.
so.
I mean, I know I was conned into it, but it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, I'd say so.
David, if you're listening or watching, I doubt it very much.
He'll be on his second pint by now. No chance.
Yeah.
I'll just play it to him. We'll hold the phone
Thanks,
up to him.
David.
So that's how you got into the society, and that's how you became chairman, which I did not realise was as rapid as it was. But as you say, you instilled that kind of direction and instilled a kind of sense of just organisation and making sure that the committee wasn't just kind of wading and going along and not really having a sense of purpose and autonomy about them.
Well, we knew we had to raise funds, and the amount of fundraising we did in that was stratospheric. I remember us doing Beetle drives. We did every single thing we could just to get some money so we could put on another show.
Yeah.
So we really did start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Then I left the society. Alan kept going for 2001, 2002, and you were well away after that, weren't you?
Oh,
some great
I've been
shows.
well away for quite a while.
Any particular highlights from those? From between 2001 to say 2000, when we did By George, 2020.
Highlight? They're all highlights.
Yeah.
Every show is not every show, because we did bomb another one.
Did you?
Which was Bugsy Malone.
Oh,
When was that?
Oh, that was a mistake.
Oh.
And when was it?
2002 was it? It was.
No, it was 2008, 2009.
Oh right,
something like
okay.
that.
Oh, okay.
And as a film and as a children's musical,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Get adults doing it.
Didn't work.
Did
Just
not
doesn't
work.
work.
And I
Dear.
got roped in as stupid gangster.
Ah,
Yeah. There you
okay.
go. What's
Was that on the credits?
No, it was just gangster, I think.
Well, the shows
didn't work.
the shows in the interim that I remember very fondly, because I came back specifically to do them. One was Buddy Holly, the Buddy Holly story, and the other was The Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah.
And they were two magical productions. I really enjoyed both of those.
Two very different ones.
Slightly.
So how did you actually first end up getting into doing the kind of roles on the stage then? Because it sounds like you very much got brought into backstage, and then you've had a few cameo roles in a few different productions.
I have been on stage hundreds of times, which will surprise you. Mainly picking up chairs and putting them on and taking them off again. But no, I've only done tiny little things when basically the producer is desperate.
Yeah.
No blokes.
No blokes. So no, I've only done 2 or 3. That's it.
Really?
So-
And all that time? That's incredible.
We wanted him to do one in By George, but it wasn't quite
Yeah.
feasible. I'll tell you the reason Alan didn't appear in By George was because of frosted glass. Do you remember this, Alan?
Frosted glass?
Because we'd written in a part for Alan as a Just Eat delivery guy on a bicycle.
This is all news
Ah,
to
no,
me.
this is true. It was very much.
No, this is ringing a bell.
You weren't gonna say no to this one, because all you would have had to do is walk in, pick up some chips, and go out again.
I could have done that.
You'd have been seen behind the glass, but because we had to pick opaque glass, you couldn't be seen, unfortunately. So there was no point you doing it, sir. Hey ho.
There you go.
But you were, my word, you were in By George. You lived every moment of that.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was
And Bridlington, wow, what an experience.
Yeah. Alan's known now and amongst our circles as sharing tears with Maria, because Maria and him just seem to cry on each other.
We'll be doing that together as well when we watch Village Hall.
As soon as winter sun comes on, do not stand anywhere near me, because I will be a blubbering wreck in a corner.
Yes, but I don't think it necessarily needs the emotional heft of a song to do it. I think Alan is so emotionally involved in the society, and whenever there's a success, Alan is there feeling every single beat of it, really.
How was your experience of the first night, the opening night of Curtains, and then how was the first opening night moment for By George? How did they compare to one another?
There's 25 years between them. I don't remember what the... It was trepidation as far as Curtains was concerned.
Because it was uncharted territory,
totally unknown territory, as you say.
It wasn't even finished.
No, you were writing it.
I was writing it
during rehearsals.
I was, yeah. I honestly had no idea how to do it, so we were making it up as we went along. And I'd never orchestrated anything in my life. I had people in the pit who were superb, Joanne and Mark, and they just carried everything, but they were vamping a lot of it. So I was having to write it so that it corresponded with what was happening on stage. And Alan watched me write, and then Alan watched Andy Bell.
And still had the faith in him to do another one.
But Andy Bell, our 6'7" guy of Gisborne, was the musical director for it.
Oh, okay.
And he was writing the overture on the day that we opened.
Wow.
This is what we're going to do. You're going to do this. Just sing that and we'll go for it.
Bloody hell.
Remarkable stuff. But that was in contrast to what happened with By George, hopefully.
Yeah.
Of course, when I first joined, we weren't Woodhouse Musical Theatre Company.
No.
We've had 4 changes of name.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Go on, tell us.
We were
all
originally Woodhouse
Amateur.
Church.
Oh, yes.
Woodhouse Church Amateur Operatic Society.
Bit of a mouthful.
Yep.
It
We're cows.
just flows off the tongue, doesn't it?
Tripped off the tongue.
And then we kind of drifted away from the church, so we dropped the church and we were Woodhouse Amateur Operatic Society. And then we realised that we weren't amateur, we were basically semi-professional. When you're having to raise 35 grand to put on a show, that's not amateur, that's semi-professional. So we dropped amateur and became Woodhouse Operatic Society. And then we had a long discussion, and Sue came up with this. My lovely wife said, well, we're not operatic anymore. This is not going to attract the youngsters into the society if they see the word opera in the title.
Yeah.
And so she suggested Woodhouse Musical Theatre company, and that was accepted by the committee, and that's where we are. So
I do want to
change
mention
after change.
that Sue's role in society has been immense. She's our wonderful costume goddess.
She is.
But also she ran and was part of Mr. Frog.
Danceware.
Danceware based in Byron Arcade, and so through that she became costumer for the society, and her support has been extraordinary.
And Mr. Frog Danceware is still going.
Yes,
An online store now.
Yes, very good.
The way she organises things, I mean, the plans for the Normandy landing's got nothing, nothing compared to the planning that she
That's not why I
puts into
expected you to
stuff.
say that.
Well,
But
how
you're
is
right.
she coping with Village Hall though?
Because there's a billion costumes.
Yeah, it's huge.
She's got a real good team around her.
Yeah.
Affectionately known as the Coven.
Yes.
That's
The
me-
Witches of Wardrobe.
That's me in the spare room tonight.
Yeah, afraid so, sir.
She's got a great team around her.
Yeah.
It's not just it's Lorraine and it's.
But there's been some
marvellous
enormous
Mrs.
challenges.
Preston.
I mean, look at shows like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. How many costume changes there were just for me in that show? It's ludicrous.
Ridiculous, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
£7,000, I think.
Oh yeah, and
She didn't have to struggle with me, though, because it was just, here's a loincloth, off you go. That's your costume.
That's what she usually says to you.
So there you go. Yeah.
Were there any other huge costume shows that
Nothing the size of Priscilla.
No, that
nothing
was
goes
nervous,
anywhere
wasn't it?
near.
I think there's a lot of shows I've been in where it's pretty much you're in the one costume. Rent was the one costume.
Yeah, and-
Legally Blonde, there was quite a lot of costumes, actually, to be fair.
Kinky
mainly
Boots,
just-
Made in Dagenham, they were all of a piece, but nevertheless,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still a huge challenge to
Kinky
get those
Boots was
costumes
more,
right.
the challenge was the boots,
Yes,
really,
I
wasn't
think
it?
so.
And
Yeah.
that was
Well, I had a
that
pair.
was an
I
experience.
was
You
selling
did?
programmes in boots.
You did?
Good and half chafe.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they ride
I only
up.
had to wear them for the finale, and I was like, bloody hell. But my legs were too fat for them as well.
Oh.
So they had to like slacken them up
Was
a
it
bit.
just your legs, Alan?
Just my legs. Short, stubby and wide. How you describe me in one phrase.
I've just figured out how to mark your grave.
Bloody hell. That escalated quickly.
We're in the church.
So that's Sue's role covered, and that's your role kind of covered.
Mm-hmm.
But what we haven't got into is when you had to give up being Mr. Chairman and move into this new role as
Mm-hmm.
the president. And I remember that moment really, really significantly because it was such an emotional moment for everybody
Mm-hmm.
in the society because of how well loved and how well known you are. And
Very kind.
And well, it's very true. So tell us what that experience was like, kind of passing the torch to Neil.
It had to happen because Woodhouse was ticking along nicely.
Yeah.
But Woodhouse is not a ticking along nicely kind of company. It needs more. It needed more impetus. It needed a change of direction. And at the time, I didn't resign. I didn't retire. I wasn't kicked out.
No.
I just thought, it's time. I'm 70. You know, let's get me out of the way and get somebody younger and with more ideas in. Unfortunately, crikey, didn't we just get one?
Yes.
Mr. Broadbent, the legend who is Mr. Neil Broadbent, came in, and he hasn't just raised Woodhouse to another level. He's raised it several levels because of things that he's bonkers. This man is bonkers.
I'm quite aware.
Neil is equally as bonkers in
Yeah.
a different way because he takes what Mr. Sykes has got here and he just...
But he also then combines it with the passion of an Alan Warmby.
Yeah.
And you've got this thing at the centre of Woodhouse now, a Neil, who is just mind-blowing in his creativity and his passion, but also his reach. My word, he's reaching for the stars with this thing. And nothing is ever done
But
half-hearted.
none of that would happen without those foundations
Of course
in place,
not.
would it? And that's the thing, is that I think when you were saying you were stepping away from being the chairman, I know there was a lot of kind of, a lot of gulps in the throat for a lot of people, because it was, it's that fear of, oh no, what's it going to be like without you? But then you're still ever present. You're still in and around every rehearsal. Like you said, other than, when you went to France to be attacked by some dogs, you've been to every single rehearsal for Village Hall, and I'm pretty sure you were at every single rehearsal for By George.
I tried to get to every single rehearsal full stop.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind that there's been 33, I think, shows I've been involved with, and about 50-odd rehearsals for each one. I think I've probably been to 1,600 rehearsals.
That's crazy.
But I'm not on, let's get this straight. I'm not on the committee. I have no decisions, and this is the best part about it.
Yeah.
I just kind of wander in off the street and lean against the radiator because I'm old and I need to keep warm.
What do you think are going to be your memories of Village Hall?
It's filthy.
It is filth. It is.
That's it. That's the end of
There's
that.
an awful
That's
lot
the
of
end of it. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. What's my memory of this show? It's filthy.
But as the writer,
Poor old
can I just...
Sarah Taylor, poor lass, who's got the verse in chair aerobics.
Yes.
For the dogging.
Yeah.
The expression on her face.
Yeah.
And she's got to do that.
Yes.
About 10 feet away from the audience. She's going to die.
She's not. She's going to absolutely love it. Can I just say, on this day, as we're filming, it's the day that Tom Lehrer passed away.
Oh, okay.
And obviously a big influence. But also, he went, to the barriers of smut occasionally. I can't believe I've gone beyond it.
No.
I really can't. It's perfectly fine. Very family friendly.
That is definitely not the case.
Dear. Yeah.
I cannot wait to see it because, again, it's something brand new. It's something so new and so different. And we've got, as you say, this creative powerhouse in terms of the production team. You've got the bedrock of the backstage crew and everyone you see backstage, and the committee who are really helping this one fly. And I've never felt as supported as I do when I'm around the Woodhouse family. It's brilliant.
Yeah, kind. Very kind.
Thank you, sir.
You're more than welcome.
Mr. Warmby, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on,
I've loved
on the
this.
show.
Keep going.
Well, we are going to keep going because we've got another special guest for you, and we're going to introduce her right now.
Let's go over to Karen at the Newsome Centre. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And thank you guys for coming here.
Oh, my absolute pleasure.
I really wanted us to come here.
Yeah.
And the reason being, and
Yeah.
I think it's kind of obvious for those who are watching, if you're not listening, it's not really obvious, but you might be able to hear the echo, actually.
Beautiful acoustic.
The point of this place being a little bit different to our usual village halls and community centres. So tell us a little bit about the Newsome Centre and how it's very clearly used to be a church.
It did. People don't walk in here and go, nice swimming pool, do they?
No, not yet.
Right? Not yet.
Yeah.
It came to us a few years ago. The Reverend Julie Anderson came into Newsome, took on the church, and it was, I don't think it was quite what she was wanting to deal with. And myself and my two colleagues who are counsellors for Newsome, we got to know her quite well. And she asked us for a meeting, and she basically said, do you want to buy a church? And it was like, oh, do I? What? Do we want to buy a church? I'm not quite sure about that. So anyway, about 30 seconds into conversation, we went, oh, go on then.
Yeah.
4 years later, we've got a church.
Yeah.
But it was always going to be a community centre.
Yeah.
Because it's in the centre of Newsome.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
And
It's at the top of the hill, right there.
Yeah.
It's a really
Slap
great
bang in the
position
middle.
for it.
And this was built in 1872, and it's been at the heart of the community since then. We've had births, deaths, marriages, you name it, it's happened here. So when the church closed, we knew we had to take the building on and keep it at the centre of Newsome. But unfortunately, the congregation got down to, you could count them on one hand, and there was no way that the Church of England could run on half a dozen people.
No, of course not.
No.
So we took the building on. It took us quite a few years to get to where we are now, what with the legalities and working with the Church of England, which is not the easiest of things to do.
No, but it was deconsecrated a year and a half, was it?
About a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
we had the final service. The bishop came over and took the religious side of things away from it.
Sure.
Right.
And then we took it on.
Well, I suppose that's freeing, but it also gives you an awful lot of challenges as well.
It does.
You can't have the church's support anymore, therefore the building has to function on its own
It
and with its own
It
funding.
does. It has to function on its own. We do have to get our own funding. It is, as you can imagine, times are challenging for everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody's got any spare change down back at Sofa anymore. But the community have rallied around this building
Good.
and us. Because we had to buy the building off the Church of England.
Yeah.
And they gave us a quote, and we thought, that's not bad. But we wangled them down a little bit, and we
Good.
got it quite relatively good cost.
Good.
But it needs £750,000 spending on it.
That's the thing. The upkeep is going to be immense.
Wow.
But also, I mean, the assets that it's got, some of it is no longer useful, like the church organ. I mean, where does it go? If you're you don't have a church organ in a community centre.
It's not like a keyboard where you can just
No,
go,
it
okay, we'll
isn't.
put it in a flight case
No.
and off we go.
And as I said, when you walked into the
Yeah.
building, I said, do you want
Tried to
I'll buy
flog
you a
it, mate.
shed? I tried
Yes.
to sell him an organ.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a musical about churches?
Surprisingly, no, I've done it. It's here. This is it.
I've said I'll buy you a shed.
Oh, thanks.
It's all right.
Thanks very much.
I will, honestly, buy you a shed and you can take it.
No, put it in the house. I'll live in the shed. It'll be fine.
But we are trying to keep it going. And for the community, what will they think that we've got a bar?
Yeah.
Some people are not too fond of our bar,
I'm sure.
but they are getting used to it.
Yes, one pint at a time.
Exactly. They are getting used to it, and I
Yeah.
think they're
So-
accepting of it.
So tell us what the first steps have been in terms of taking it from being a church and making it into a community centre, and then where we need to get to in the next couple of years or so.
We are currently going through a planning application. The problem we've got here is all the trees around here they've got TPOs on, which is a tree preservation
yeah.
order.
Right, okay.
And in those trees, they think we might have bats.
Oh, so there's a wildlife preservation order as well.
Okay.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we get a planning application, things will move quicker. We know we need new toilet facilities because the little toilet
It
is
ain't going to
not-
cut it for
it's
the
not
venue
gonna
you
cut
want
it.
to be.
No.
No.
Yeah.
And we need a new kitchen facilities and disability access toilets, and so the planning application is a must
Yeah.
at the minute.
Yeah.
We've got issues with the roof because if you can look up,
Oh, there
no.
it is.
Yeah.
I've just seen it immediately.
Yeah.
yeah, we have issues.
But there is a huge excitement because, I mean, Matt and I have been to, over the course
Yeah.
of our podcasts, I mean, we are now clocking about 12 of the local
Yeah.
village halls. And they are about 20 years further along their journey than you are. But we're at the inception here.
You are.
Yeah. It's the exciting bit,
Absolutely.
really.
Yeah,
It is, and it is exciting because
Yeah.
we know what we're going to get at the end.
that's
Yeah.
right.
You know, we know the pews have got to come out. They have to come out.
Yeah.
But under the pews there is a heating system,
Yeah.
and under the heating system is a void.
There's voids you can't have. There's a consequence to every single
There is,
move.
yeah.
But Woodhouse had exactly the same problem in that when Alan and I joined the committee, as we've just heard from Alan, we started from nothing. Absolutely, we had
Yeah.
£300 in,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and we had to make things work. But necessity became the mother of invention, and it'll be the same with this. I'm absolutely certain of it.
Well, it will, because if we hadn't have done
No,
this building would have gone to rack and ruin.
Yeah.
The roof would more likely have come in. Either that, or they could have sold it to the developer with the most money, and you could have had carpet warehouse or student accommodation, and we didn't want that because of
Yeah,
where
'cause it'd
it
be
is.
demolished, yeah.
This
well, it
is
would have ripped the heart out of me.
Yeah.
It would have done, and we know that. So we know we've done the right thing. It's just going forward.
And having the energy to make it happen.
Just a little bit tired. But having you two boys here.
Oh, well, we'll try our level.
I know you will.
Yeah, the thing is, Matt and I know you
know.
more from your association with Longwood Operatic Society.
Yes.
And I've done shows with Longwood. Matt's
Yeah.
done some. Is it 2 or 3 now?
This will be my second one. doing
Second
School
one,
of Rock.
School
yeah.
of Rock. Yeah.
Again.
So there's an awful lot coming up, and you'll be manning the costume cupboards for us.
Absolutely.
What we're going to do straight after this, actually, we're going on a little costume date, aren't we? We're going to go and try and find me some outfits.
It's nice to multitask.
So yeah, I've known you two for a long time.
So tell us how can people find out what's going on at the centre? How can people get involved with the fundraising? You know, fixing the roof, all that kind of stuff. Tell us how we can do that.
We have a Facebook page which I'll let you have the details for, and it's the Friends of the Newsome Centre.
We'll post details on the screen.
Yeah. And if you follow myself and my two colleagues, there's always a link to what's going on here, and I do like a WhatsApp page.
Oh, bring on the group.
I love a WhatsApp page, and I WhatsApp everything.
Oh, text me, sexy dynamite.
Yeah, I do. I love a WhatsApp. But we have a Newsome Centre Facebook page. Cool. Yeah, and we're very busy with it.
Good. It's good to be busy, and it'll be a great challenge. But I hope it will spring an incredible facility for the people of Newsome.
We know it will do.
It will.
So you can find all of the Village Hall from Page to Stage podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. You can have a listen to every single one whilst you're driving to and from the Newsome Centre, even though you live down the road, so it won't take you very long. Maybe whilst you're walking to the Newsome Centre, or what you can do is you can go onto YouTube and you can search the Village Hall from Page to Stage, or you can find it on Richard Sykes' YouTube channel directly.
Or you can go to my website, which was www.richsykes.com.
And if you'd like to buy tickets to see the world premiere performance of the Village Hall, we're going to put a QR code on Karen's QR code. So that if you scan that, it'll take you through to thelbt.org, where you can buy your tickets to see the first ever production of this fantastic musical. And you can also follow us at the Village Hall Musical on the old Instagram. Well, Rich, it's been a fantastic episode.
Loved it.
And it's been really great to catch up with you, Karen, and also to have a chat to our wonderful Mr. President, the legend himself, Alan Warmby.
It's also our final visit on this podcast to the Village Halls. We're now getting into the serious meat of the show as we start to run it and we find flaws in it, and we'll be bringing you updates on that in the next final few episodes of our podcast from the Village Hall from Page to Stage.
So, from me, thank you very much for joining, and from Mr. Richard Sykes.
Yes, thank you.
And from Karen, and from Alan.
You.
Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.